Got the link. I can still do it. Well, welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Davers. The Steelers win 34-32 in their home opener. Lee, did you get to watch the game?
I got to watch the game. It was a good game. I thought it was going to be a different outcome the way it was. I did take the over on the final score, but I didn't think it was going to go the way in a shootout that it kind of was. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a blowout by the Steelers, but they played a tight game, came down to the wire at the end, and got the victory.
Yeah, I was not expecting 66 points between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields played very well for the Jets up
Yeah.
until that last drive. I bet there were some Steeler fans out there wondering why we let the guy go. I'm still okay with that move. But yeah, he played very well tonight, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He played very well. He showed that he could still be a very good quarterback in the league, able to run and pass the ball. He didn't really make any mistakes out there. He looked very well. He was out there leading his team down the field, and it got to a point where they were scoring almost on every possession without a punt. So it looked pretty decent for them and for him. And so, they played a very good game. The Jets did against the Steelers.
Obviously, he was not the only one to make their debut. Aaron Rodgers made his debut at quarterback. Aaron looked good is the line.
Yes,
we
he
hear
did.
first moment. 22 of 30, 244, 4 touchdowns. He did get sacked 4 times. That's something we're gonna have to look at. The line did not look great, either in the passing game or in the running game, really. But it happens. Week 1.
Yeah.
I don't think we wanted it to be the way it was, but there were a lot of good things that happened for sure.
Yeah.
Things that give you some concern, but it's not the end of the world. You get to win on the road, even if you don't cover the spread. Win's a win. On top of Aaron Rodgers making his debut, there were another number of guys that made their debut. Ramsey ends the game with a tackle or a pass breakup there at the end. But it was definitely not the game we expected going in, but it ended up being a pretty interesting game for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Got to see DK out there a little bit as well, getting some catches, making some plays. I mean, that's a big boy and he's quick. He's going to be a nice little threat for us on the offense. Calvin Johnson had some plays. He made a couple catches and got a touchdown out there.
Calvin Austin, yeah.
I'm sorry, Calvin Austin. Yeah. He
wish we had Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, no. He looked, I wish we had Calvin Johnson. But yeah, no, Calvin Austin looked really well out there. Aaron Rodgers, again, he looked, very good. 4 touchdown passes. He didn't really have too many mistakes. He did get sacked a few times, but that's kind of on the line. The defense looked a little bit, just
shaky.
But there was some, like you said, there was some good plays that were made. Like you said, some of these guys made debuts, and they look pretty decent out there today.
Rodgers looked good. Another compliment for Aaron Rodgers there. Yeah, you mentioned Metcalf. He went 4 catches, 83 yards. Calvin Austin, 4 catches, 70 yards. They also had touchdowns from Ben Skoranek, Jalen Warren, and Johnny Smith. He spread the ball around well throughout the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys had 3 catches at least. And 7 guys in total caught balls today. So Rodgers definitely spread the ball out well. There were drives where it got a little shaky there, but all in all, you score 34 points. You capitalize on the turnover the way they did real quick. Really spun this game around. It was a little shaky for a little bit. What was the biggest? I guess I can go through the scoring right now to throw something out there. The Jets opened the scoring off with 3 points on a field goal with 9:15 in the game. Nick Folk, 35 yards. The Steelers came back and scored a touchdown to make it 7-3. That's the Ben Skoranek touchdown pass from Rodgers, 22-yard pass there. The Jets come right back, though, pretty quickly, too. Score a touchdown to make it 9-7. They missed the extra point. That was a Garrett Wilson 33-yard touchdown pass from Justin Fields. Very good throw and catch there. Steelers come back with a field goal in the second quarter to make it 10-9. But once again, the Jets get the ball back. They score on a Braylon Allen 8-yard touchdown run. They make this extra point to make it 16-10. Then we got a field goal from Nick Folk, and then their next possession to make it 19-10. That was with 2:54 left in the game, or in the half. But the Steelers were able to go down there and score a touchdown. Jonnu Smith 3-yard pass with 32 seconds left. So that was a first real good sign that Aaron Rodgers is the guy that we like here. I mean, there was two good signs: scoring an offensive touchdown on the first drive. That's been a while since we've been able to talk about that. And then on top of that, Jonnu Smith touchdown at the end of the half. So both the 2-minute game and the opening drive, the Steelers were showing some life, right?
Yeah, it looked pretty good in that first half. They were kind of, like I said, both the Steelers and Jets were going back and forth, going down the field and scoring. Yeah, an opening a scoring drive is something that we haven't seen in a very long time. And, I was kind of excited that they actually went down the field and actually got a touchdown there. It was a lot of passing, which is, looked pretty good for Rodgers out there. It wasn't, I guess, too much going on for both defenses, but yeah, they were both going down scoring. They looked pretty good. It was a pretty close half, 19-17.
Yeah.
That looked pretty good there at the half.
Yeah. Defense needs improvement from Working Punch Productions. Yeah, the first half was very alarming if you're a guy who thought the Steelers defense was going to be dominant. But all in all, 19-17, getting that touchdown at the end there, you're feeling all right. I don't think I ever felt like, oh no, this game's over. Even as we go further into this second half and the scoring that happens there, I liked the way the offense was playing, even though the running game wasn't really there either. It was a little shaky. I didn't expect Gainwell to get as many touches early and as many snaps early as he did. And then the running game for the Jets just pretty much dominated the Steelers for the first half, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the Red Sea was parting every play. They ran, right up the middle, right down our throat. I'll get into some stats here in a little bit, but they ended up with 182 rush yards total for the game for the Jets. The Steelers could not stop them one bit on the ground. It didn't look too well on the defensive side with them stopping the run. But I agree with you. I don't think I got to a point where I thought that they were actually going to lose this game. I mean, I just thought that it was just going to go back and forth like it did the whole game, and probably come down to the wire there like it did,
Yeah, so the next three drives to start the third quarter were all punts, but the Jets then went on an 8-play, 68-yard drive that ended in a touchdown on a 2-yard run from Fields. This was an ugly. This is the wait. Which one was this? Was this the bad touchdown or the good one? I'm trying to remember now. No, this was the one that we'll talk about the fourth quarter touchdown from them.
Yeah.
That was very frustrating.
Yeah.
But anyway, that made the score 26-17. Steelers were able to come back next drive to make it 24-26. 9-play, 68-yard drive that ended with a another touchdown pass from Rodgers. This one a 5-yarder to Jaylen Warren. The very next play, kickoff, the Jets fumble. Steelers get the ball right back. And in 2 plays, they make it 31-26. Very crazy little sequence there. They go down from down 26-17 to up 31-26 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
At that point, I thought they were going to take over, but that's not what happened, right?
Yeah, no, it was starting to look like the momentum was on our side, but then
next drive, 12 plays, 67 yards, touchdown for the Jets. This one on a run by Justin Fields. I don't know what to say other than I don't know why they would allow Fields that much space in the open while you're not looking for a bootleg from a guy like Fields. It's kind of crazy, I think.
Yeah, the fact that there wasn't even like a spy on him for just to be able to watch for a bootleg
on a 4th and goal.
Yeah, I mean, and he high stepped right into the end zone. There was nobody there to get him, and I mean nobody around. I mean, I don't understand why there was nobody to just at least watch for that, and it just seemed like all they did was go for the running back to go in, and he just took off, and it was wide open, touchdown for him.
And then the Steelers respond with their worst offensive drive of the game. 3 plays, negative 14 yards, and a punt. Fortunately, the defense came back with their best drive of the game. Only 3 plays and 5 yards for the Jets. They had to punt. Steelers get the ball back. 6 plays, 39 yards. Boswell gets a 60-yard field goal to win it after the offense tried their best. Arthur Smith and the offense tried their best to make sure that kick was as long as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean, but Boswell has just been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been like 10 years now. Feels like it's been like a decade of just Boswell being great. And then that was a minute 6 left in the game, or maybe minute 3. Jets do get the ball back, but they turn it over on downs, 4 plays, only get 7 yards. And like I mentioned earlier, Jalen Ramsey obviously ended the game with a pass breakup on Garrett Wilson. And it is ironic enough because those 2 guys were chipping pretty much the whole game, and that's how it ends, right?
Yeah, there was a little bit of scruffle going on. You could tell these 2 teams weren't too happy with each other out there today, and it did get chippy there, like you said in the end. But it's just great to have Boswell on the team. I mean, he's like you said, he's been phenomenal. You know, hitting a 60-yard, hitting a new career high on long field goal. The way he kicked that, it looked like he could have made it from 70. So it was that good of a kick. But
I don't know if this means he could hit that kick, but maybe it is.
Maybe. Done it too.
Yeah, no. How about the drive though? Not the drive, but the play calling from first down after the amazing catch by DK Metcalf. They like circus catch. They got 3 plays in a row where they just did nothing to help the
I think
cause.
2 of them were like screenplays in a row.
Yes, 2 screens. The first one was to Austin. Austin, like, I don't know, he seemed like he thought it was his fault. He like messed it up on there. And the next one was to Johnny Smith, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're doing tight end screens with a minute left in the game when you need to get a little bit of yardage for your field goal kicker. And then I don't know, it's crazy.
It just seemed like it didn't seem like they felt like they were under any pressure there, but they were down. I mean, they were down by a point. I mean, but still, I mean, you got to at least move the ball down the field. You can't try to play games with the team and think that, you're going to do the same play 2 plays in a row and think that something's going to be productive like that. If it's not working, you got to stop. I mean, we've seen this in the past with Matt Canada's offense, and running these plays like this. If it's not going to work, you gotta stop.
So working punches. How about that field goal missing? You clarified extra point. I think that played a big role in the way the scoring happened. Because I mean, if that doesn't happen, obviously the game changes completely. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the Jets had to go for 2 at one point, and they failed on that. There would have been a scenario where they just would have been tied. Obviously, wouldn't have to have done that. So yeah, that played a big part overall. Nick Folks, I don't think he's got a lot of backing in New York right now. But
no,
that was a big play there.
Yeah, he's been notorious for missing some field goals over his career, and trying to keep the game close. And I don't think any fans are too happy with him right now.
Yeah, and then you got the Tampa Bay Atlanta game ended with 2 guys. First the extra point miss, and then young Wei Koo missing his kick too. So it's going on around the going on everywhere in the NFL except for in Pittsburgh, where we have Chris Boswell. We don't have to worry about missed field goals. Is the way I've seen it.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right.
But do you want to go through some stats? You got the stats, the overall team stats?
Yeah, I got some stats here for the teams. Again, final score: Steelers 34 over the Jets 32. 30-point game for the Steelers. It's something we didn't see much of the past couple seasons, and they have a season opener with over 30 points. Total yards, Steelers had 271 total yards to the Jets, 394, which the Jets were moving down the field. They were kind of going
all day,
going down the field,
right up the middle, right on the edges, everywhere.
Yep, that's it. Pass yards are about the same. Steelers 218 to the Jets 212. Rush yards, this is where it was a blowout. 182 rush yards, like I said earlier, to the Steelers 53. We didn't see much of the Steelers running. We didn't see much of that going on.
Nothing, yeah.
what's shocking is, and I don't know if you saw it, but not much of our boy out there, Jalen Warren. I don't know. A lot of Gainwell we saw in that game, and I'm kind of shocked.
As the game went on, they went back to Warren. But early on it was all Gainwell. Really, I think Warren got in for a couple snaps, and that was surprising for me. Caleb Johnson only had one rush the whole game. It was an outside run, and he lost 2 yards on it. So I think everyone thought going into this that it was going to be a lot of Warren and Johnson, but now after this game, unless it was just a matchup thing, we might be seeing a lot more Gainwell than we expected.
Yeah, for sure. Yards per play by team. The Steelers had 5 yards per play. Jets 6.4 yards per play. First down, Steelers at 19. The Jets at 23. Which again, they were moving down the field, going back and forth. Third down efficiency. Steelers were 4 for 10. The Jets were 7 for 14. Again, that just shows like how they were just kind of moving. Steelers, the 4 for 10 is something we've kind of seen over the years. Past couple of years with this team. Fourth down efficiency, the Steelers did not go for it on fourth down. The Jets were 1 for 2 on fourth down. Total plays, Steelers had 54 to the Jets 62. The Steelers had 1 sack towards the end of that game on Justin Fields. And
it was a big one.
4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. He the very first play on our Steelers offensive play pass, he got sacked. The punts, the Steelers punted the ball 4 times to the Jets twice. Penalty yards, 4 penalties for 39 yards for the Steelers, 7 penalties for 79 yards for the Jets. Turnovers, there were no interceptions by either team. The Jets did fumble 1 time, which you talked about. We recovered it and went down, scored quickly.
Yep.
The time of possession, Steelers had 25 minutes and 9 seconds to the Jets, 34 minutes and 51 seconds, which we've talked about in the past. With having a big time possession, you'd think, holding on to the ball a little bit longer, you're going to win the game, but it did not come out to that way. So those are your stats for the game today.
Yeah, the question is going to be whether or not this Jets team is just a lot better than people expected, or if this is signs of things that come from the Steelers where they're not going to be able to stop the run. Because I'm worried right now, but Justin Fields always has good running teams, and maybe Aaron Glenn's going to be a good coach where he's going to put them in good spots like he did during this game. But we could go to our coach here, Mike Tomlin, see what he had to say after the game. Pull him up.
Man, wow, that was fun and challenging at the same time, man. The NFL season is back. 60 minutes of football, man. I tip my cap to the New York Jets, man. They were a worthy opponent, man. They fought. They really put us up against it, challenged us in a lot of ways. It's an unknown sometimes when you're playing a new staff, man. I thought that we got exposed in some of those spaces at times, but I thought the coaches did a real good job of communication. The players did a real good job of communicating and adjusting. We made about 1 or 2 more plays than they did, and sometimes these games are decided by that. I'm excited about the next week's process. We got an opportunity to get a lot better between week 1 and week 2. We're going to need to, obviously. Our slip was showing a little bit today in some areas. We weren't good enough in the running game, particularly the RPO running game. We didn't put enough pressure on Justin. On the offensive side of the ball, I thought some negative plays killed drives. We didn't protect our quarterback well enough on play pass, trying to go for chunks on first and second down. They sacked us a couple of times in those instances, put us behind the chains. You can't be behind the chains in a hostile environment in a close football game. Usually those bills come due. And so, those are some of the things that, you talk about or you feel immediately after. But certainly we'll comb through this and work to get better. That's a part of the process, that cycle of prepare, play, evaluate, make necessary corrections, and play again. And so I'm excited about looking at the video and dissecting it, the things that we need to improve upon and going to work next week with this group. We absorbed some attrition in game, like always.
Before we go into injuries. I'm going off of some of the things he talked about. Rodgers isn't going to be elusive like he was his entire career, so they really need to have good pass protection if they want to succeed. Broderick Jones especially looked pretty bad in the first half, but I didn't notice as much in the second half from him. But overall, I think that was the biggest hurdle for some of those drives was the sacks, right?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line did look very shaky out there, just like how the defense was. Aaron Rodgers, I think just with his age and with his health and injuries in the past, I think that, him staying in the shotgun was probably like his thing and not trying to be under center. But the offensive line was not really, kind of holding the line too much for him. I mean, he was making a lot of quicker passes than I think that he normally does, just because of the line breaking down as quick as it did. But I do think that the sacks and, getting negative yards did kind of hold us back a little bit. The one thing I just wanted to kind of take away, he was saying about them being exposed, which they did. I think they got exposed really bad on the defensive side with the running game.
Yeah.
And the ball, the running game, the runners just running right up the middle. I disagree with what he said about them talking about how they communicated well to get that fixed, because it didn't stop the whole game. I mean, the whole game they ran, so I disagree.
Until that last couple drives. The last couple drives, they really played well, which hasn't been the case in the past.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think even the plays where he wasn't sacked, there were a couple times where he was hurried, that he threw some passes that could have been intercepted for sure. They got a little lucky a couple times too. That's going to be concerning. I think hopefully the offensive line fixes themselves up, but I think that is the biggest issue. And then you're right. It was the whole entire game, for the most part, until those last couple drives where the offense, the defense just could not stop them at all. Sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear the injuries.
Deshaun Elliott has a knee injury that's being evaluated. Malik Harrison also has a knee injury that's being evaluated. Joey Porter Jr.'s hamstring got tight, and we shut him down so it didn't get any worse than it was. There's some other bumps and bruises associated with play. I think Cam got poked in the eye, but he was fine and able to finish. But more than anything, man, I'm just excited for this group to face adversity and persevere. I'm excited about the new Steelers, whether they're new to the league or new to us. Man, we got a lot of plays from a lot of new Steelers today, and they're earning their place in the Steeler lore with their efforts. And we talked about a little bit about that last night. I don't care about what means you get here, man. You play one play for this organization, you're a Steeler. And so a lot of guys etched their names into that legacy with their efforts and play today. Can't say enough about Kenny G. That offensive player making a tackle on kickoff and knocking that ball loose. I think Skoranek recovered, man. It's just an example of making plays in all three phases and being a football player first and a positional player second. And with that, I'll pause and open up for questions.
Yeah, we should highlight that again. Yeah, that kick return, fumble, the fumble there by Gainwell and Skoranek, two guys that are going to be playing some special teams. That's where I thought that we were going to see more Gainwell than we were going to see on the offense. But that was the turning point of the game, obviously, and it was a big swing that way. Injury wise. Deshaun Elliott being hurt might have been one of the reasons the rushing attack was so bad on defense. He does play a good role there, coming up into the box and things. So that is one thing to take into account when you look at the offense struggling so bad. But they were struggling even before he had gotten hurt, even though it was early on. Yeah. Any other notes from what he had just said? Do you want to talk about?
Some of the new guys that were on the team now, they did make some plays. Again, that the fumble on the kickoff. Aaron Rodgers looked well out there. Jalen Ramsey with that tackle at the end of the game. Skoranek with a touchdown. DK with a couple catches and runs. But I don't know if he was saying, if there was really a lot of big plays like he's talking about. I mean, there were some things that were nice little flashes here and there, but they did well. They played well. They could have played better, but a win's a win at the end of the day. I get it, but I'd like to see some more bigger plays than what he was talking about there. So, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, but this is definitely, I'm happy with the win. I'm just not happy with how they played.
Yeah. A lot of it's going to be how good the Jets are, I think. And, going into the season, we didn't expect them to be great. So maybe we're wrong, and the Jets are actually going to have a pretty good team this year. We're going to get some questions here from the media. Tomlin's biggest op in the entire world. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. You like that you saw from Aaron Rodgers and how the players responded to him?
I just thought he was game all day. But again, you guys asked me last week, why was I confident? That's why I was confident. That's what I've been looking at in preparation, and I'm appreciative of it. Not only his efforts, but the efforts of the collective.
Mike, what allowed you guys to persevere? What about the group?
Just acknowledging that NFL football is tough. There's going to be ebb and flow. You're going to be up against it. You're going to be tested individually and collectively, and how you respond to that oftentimes defines you. And I can't say enough about Boz. And our kicker is a serial killer, man. He got a low pulse rate. He can't wait to deliver.
Based off of what you saw in the moment.
There we go. I love it. Because I was about to just talk about how that was a pretty basic response from him usually, because he got teed up perfectly.
Yeah,
he got teed up to do a Tomlinism for sure. And
Yeah,
we
he
didn't
did.
get one. We didn't get one. We get one, and then he called Christopher Boswell a serial killer. So thank you, Mike Tomlin, for being you.
I mean, I guess that's a good way to say it. I mean, he really is a killer out there when he hits those fields. I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
He's
been money.
I wasn't expecting it this early, but yeah, he
maybe go with sniper. I don't know, sniper, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He's a sniper out there.
Yeah, he's a
serial
sniper.
killer works.
Sure.
I like it. Let's go on, Tom.
The issues against the run, was that more schematic, or did the Jets just beat your guys?
It was both. There were instances we weren't good enough. When he walked in, on the keeper on the touchdown, for example. There were some instances where he simply won. We had an appropriate number of people, and that's what's challenging about quarterback mobility, particularly the +1 running game when it's designed runs. There's not a lot of gang tackling under those circumstances. It's a bunch of one-on-one football. And when big-time athletes get in one-on-one circumstances, oftentimes they win, and he showed us some of that, but not that we were surprised by that. That was on our team a year ago.
I was talking about this 60 in pregame. Did he say that to you at any point? Do you know that you're aware of that?
Boz always makes it from 60 in pregame. Boz always wants to bang from deep. That one he made in the first half, I don't even know if he looked at me. It's just when it went to fourth down, he walked out on the field. But that's the type of guy you want banging for you under them circumstances.
Rodgers' defense.
I'm sorry?
Talk about this defense. It was shaky all game, but in the fourth quarter, it actually stopped the Jets 2 times in the fourth quarter. So the importance of making plays at big times.
We needed to. You play today, you evaluate tomorrow. The game's not always going to unfold the way that you like. When you start measuring it in the midst of play, you don't have enough energy and enough gas to do what you suggested. And so that's what I like about it. Do I like how we played? Do I like our inability to stop the run? No. But I love our mindset because our mindset shows that we were game for the fight, that we weren't measuring it today. We were playing to win. And when you do those things, man, you got enough gas in the tank to finish it at the end.
I don't know who asked that question, but if he's going to be there all year, he's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that defense. It caught Tomlin off guard at first, I think, but he figured out.
I think he did, yeah.
Pull it back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's right. You can't really make too many adjustments in game in a situation where you're just getting bullied like that. Hopefully they can figure it out this week, and next week come back and look a little stronger. Next week's against Seattle. I mean, you're gonna have Sam Darnold's not like a very elusive guy, but I mean he's not that slow either. So
yeah,
it'll be a different game for sure. So we won't know. Maybe we won't know right away how much this is going to be something we have to worry about, especially when you get a player like Lamar Jackson in your division that you're going to play twice. Because Lamar and Justin Fields are a little different. I think Fields is a little stronger, but you definitely don't want to have a situation that this running defense can't solve it by the time they get into the divisional games.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna have an issue, like you said, with Lamar and with Derrick Henry, them two just running the ball. I mean, I hope that they can come up with some type of game plan, watching the film to figure out where the mistakes were, where they can try to plug up the holes. Where, I mean, the Jets just kind of just ran it down our throat. I mean, the running defense is something we've seen not do too well in the past couple of years, but a lot of these players on this team think this defense is legendary, and they didn't look legendary today. So I'm hoping that, they can watch film and be able to figure this out, because if this continues like it did today, it's going to be a long season for this defense.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough plays. I mean, Highsmith got a sack. Watt had 2 tackles for losses. He was in the backfield a lot for sure. And then Ramsey, you didn't hear too much from him other than like making things happen and arguments going on in the field. But he makes the big play at the end there. Slade did not have a good game in my eyes, but I mean, who am I? I don't know everything about what he was supposed to be covering on that play, that one touchdown to I think it was to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Where they went over. I don't know if he was supposed to help back there or what, but he just got beat pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's tough on a crossing. Go ahead.
For sure, yeah. No, I agree. He got kind of torched by, but it's tough. It's the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you.
He also lost. He's the guy who lost contain on the Fields bootleg too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you who did not do well was Cam Hayward. He's supposed to be.
I agree. He didn't have a good game, but I don't think it was as bad as you're about to do. But go ahead.
No, I'm going to be on this guy all season. He's supposed to be the captain of the defense.
Yeah,
he's out there complaining about money. He can't feed his family, this and that bullshit, and can't even fucking. He gets what he needs and didn't make one fucking play today. How about you? Fucking the defensive line. Fucking, you're probably the middle guy. Fucking plug up.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Come on.
He did have a quiet game for sure.
Yeah.
I
just want to listen. If he's gonna talk stuff, I want to
exactly
something happen. I don't want the complaining. You got your money, now fucking make a play now. I'm gonna be on all season, Cam Hayward. I hope you see this. I'm gonna be your biggest critic all season. Let's fucking make some plays now. All right. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any bullshit. You got what you need. Make some fucking plays. Let's go.
You hear that, Cam?
If you're watching, I'm your critic today. I'm your critic this whole season. Let's go.
Let's see what we got going
on.
I like it.
Give you a different feel or a different approach in a final drive situation. We said he's been there so many times.
We've had him for one game, and so you can paint with a broad brush or not. I'm appreciative of the efforts today.
Specifically with pass protection, where do you need to see this line grow from the performance that they put out there today?
We got to be able to turn our back to the defense on play pass on first and second down. I thought that's where we were most leaky. But it's risk associated with that. I understand that. But that's just a component of play that we desire to be functional at, and we weren't good enough today.
Mike, what were your first impressions of Jalen Ramsey in a Steelers jersey?
I'm glad he's on my team. I've seen it in stadiums before. A lot of these new Steelers, man, we've covered it for a long time, and sometimes it's just about opportunity. I've certainly been an appreciator of his skills and talents. Can't say enough about him, man. He played nickel. He played free safety. He played outside corner. He is a top-notch football player, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Talking about distribution reps at running back, was that much Kenny Gainwell something you were expecting, or sort of the way things just played out?
We played to win today. I'm not going to stand up here and break down the distribution of reps for you guys week in and week out. I'm not into that.
What is it about Vince Skoranek that makes him such a key player in big moments?
He's got an unwavering belief in self. We kid him a lot. Sometimes it's somewhat unrealistic. But, man, if you don't believe in you, who will? He's one of those guys that has big-time belief in self.
Was there a game ball pass out today?
I'll keep that between us until you guys go in there and ask them.
Anyone else? How critical was that drive right before halftime to lower the deficit to 2?
It was big time, man. We wanted to book in the half, to be quite honest with you. We weren't able to come out in the second half with that same level of execution. That's why you defer, man. We wanted to book in that half. We handled the front end of it. We didn't handle the back end of it.
Mike, I realize you're.
There are a couple things in there. Anyone you want to specify with any of those questions you would, I think, pop out for you?
Just I guess the Jalen Ramsey thing I thought was a little funny. Him, happy that he's on the team.
And I mean,
quiet day though. He had a quiet day.
Yeah, that's good. I was about to say that's good. That's what you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a cornerback, you're gonna have days where you're quiet. But that means that no one's throwing you the ball. No one's like going your way. So it's kind of like it's not a bad thing if your cornerback has a quiet day. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I guess the Jaylen Warren thing about him. He's like he's not going to go into.
He talked about Gainwell. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, that was good response from him to just shut it down, because that is something that we were even talking about already. So he knew that was something he was going to get a question about, and he's not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
And then Skoranek, he's one of those guys that you're gonna have on your team that aren't gonna be flashy, but every once in a while you can get it. That's the kind of guy that can win you championships, as they say.
Yeah, for sure. As long as he's a little better than
motivated regardless of circumstances, but he just beat the team that let him go. What was your emotion for him in that context?
I agree with you. He doesn't care. He's been doing this too long. It was week one. There was a lot to be excited about. We got the victory. It's on to the next one.
You talked about having to rotate defensive linemen a lot and week ones all the time. Do you feel like your conditioning of your group was up to par?
I do. I certainly believe it was challenging, particularly like, at outside linebacker. Our third guy was a rookie who was also on punt and kickoff, and Jack Sawyer. And so, but that's the challenges that everybody faces this time of year. We got through it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
We can wrap this up soon, but is there anything else we didn't really talk about?
No, I mean, I think
big props, some Tomlinisms during the game, bang from deep. I think we hit a lot of things. Maybe one of the things that this isn't even a shot at Pickens, but DK Metcalf is what we wanted George Pickens to be.
Yes.
The speed, the just the explosiveness. He even with the game where he only had 4 catches, he just flashed out there that like you would the way you would want for a guy you just spent all that money on, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's just such a talented player, and he got onto the ball. He was getting yards and making plays. I mean, he looked really good out there. I'm excited to see how he's going to be this season. Him and Rodgers, I think, are going to be a great little wide receiver quarterback duo this season. They're going to just be. I think they're going to put up some pretty good numbers this year. These two. I think it's just going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, knock on wood for health, but I think this was a great week 1 victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 34-32 on the road. 1-0 start. There are going to be a lot of tough games at the back end of the schedule, so you got to get these wins. It would have been an ugly loss if they weren't able to pull it out. But all in all, who was your MVP today?
Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin. Okay. It's either there's 3 names for me. It's Rodgers, it's Boswell, or it's Gainwell. The 3 for me. Gainwell's played really changed everything there. The forced fumble.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns from your quarterback is great, but I'm gonna give it to Boswell hitting that 60-yarder. We can't take that for granted. So I'm gonna give him the MVP today.
Sounds good.
So next week, Seattle.
Yeah.
You ready for that one?
Ready? Be our home opener. It'll be another revenge game for DK.
DK, yep. They're currently playing. I'm going to see the score. They're up 10-7 over the 49ers at halftime. We'll see how that game ends. But it's a very different roster for them. Like you said, DK Metcalf's gone. They're relying on Sam Darnold at quarterback.
Yeah.
And then they have Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and Cooper Kupp out there on the receiving core. Cooper Kupp is now a Seahawk, if anyone out there did not know.
I did not know, but yeah, it should be a definitely a decent game, and forward to speaking and talking about it, this coming week, talk about the game prior, and look forward to next week.
Check out StreamYard.
Oh shit. Discount.
Yep. There it is. But yeah, other than that, Lee, I'll see you. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the football.
Yep.
Yeah.